3, 2, 1. Okay, Adam, so if you want to start us off with Christian Eriksen's stats, appearances, goals. Man. Fucking hell. Sam's going to get some clips out of this, mate. Fuck me. My head's sweating. It's literally sweating.
Oh.
Let's try again.
Yeah, okay, game face.
Composure, right? Because I want to get this done. I want to read my tea and get this done. For the love of God. Right, 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Railed. Oh. Railed.
Between juggling balls.
We can do this, Adam. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's focus. You know what I'm going to do? To help, this does help. I'm going to put my notes over the thing so I can't see your reaction because that's what gets me. Now I can't see you, so I can straight face it. Absolutely. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and good day to everyone, whatever time it is in the world or wherever you're from. Welcome to Real Reds Talk. It is Wednesday, and that can only mean one thing and one thing only. It's time for another episode of Head to Head. This is a show where we compare two players in similar positions and make a final call on who we think should start or who we should sign. In today's episode, we will be breaking down the info and stats relating to, drum rolls please, Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes. Now, to help me guide me through this process, we have a friendly face on the show. Joining me all the way from the Emerald Isle today is my co-host, Mr. Adam Gray, or Adam Wanderer Gray, should I say. How are you doing today, pal?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Nick?
Yeah, I'm good. We was just, if anyone thinking Wanderer Gray, what you're on about, we're just discussing boxing nicknames off air. So, yeah, but you're doing well, Adam, yeah?
Yeah, really good. Been off work the last couple of days, enjoying the time off. Yeah. I can't wait for a drink later.
just about to say, you've been working out today, haven't you? Had your feet up. I've been doing bloody 12-hour shifting these giant moon rocks up and down stairs, gluten moon rocks. And then I got back, I just speak to Adam then, and I was like, what have you been doing? He was like, it's been sat in, mate. Just been sat in. It's all right it's all right for some of it. Adam, let me pose you this question, okay? Because we're discussing central attacking midfielders today, we've got Eriksen and Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes. What makes a great attacking midfielder, and what are the main areas you would focus on?
I think for me, Nick, like there's 5 kind of key traits to being a good attacking midfielder. You're looking at 1 being technique, 2 being being able to do a killer pass, 3 being football IQ, something our squad severely lacks. It's something that we lack a lot, particularly one player I think always gets criticized for it. 4 being positioning, and then 5, of course, being shooting. Technique in particular is huge for an attacking midfielder because it doesn't necessarily mean juggling balls, like whipping it over someone's head. Don't.
You can't say juggling balls and not expect me to laugh. You just can't. You can't say it. Sorry, juggling balls. What was the next one?
Whipping it over a ball.
So juggling balls. The hand movements really make you better. Juggling balls and whipping it over the post. You got children on YouTube, Adam. What are you doing?
All that good stuff, It means kind of using the right skill at the right time to beat a man. Yeah. Quickly turn defense into attack, all that good jazz. And a good attacking midfielder can keep close control of the ball and just set up his teammates with a simple touch.
Did he cradle the ball really well?
Yeah, they do.
So Bruno Fernandes or Christian Eriksen, if they can cradle balls really well, or they can sling it over the post. You hired. So this is what we look for in all seriousness in attacking midfielder.
Yeah. And then the killer pass as well. The ability to make that pass is absolutely huge for an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
They need to be accurate. They also have to have a good repertoire of different types of passing styles in their locker, because just to slip somebody through, break the defensive line, that's what you need. And I know Juan Mata in particular was huge for it. Like, he could switch the ball, those 1-2 quick passing around the box. And we haven't really seen much of Bruno with that. Like, he's been good in a goal scoring sense and maybe with assists, but he hasn't been making that say killer pass as much as we would like. And you see, they tend to have a lower completed pass percentage, because they're the ones in the team that are actually creating the most chances. And it's something that we're going to probably highlight in their stats coming up. Football and IQ, as I said earlier, something that we've lacked in our squad. It's just to do the basics right in football. Know when to make the simple pass, the difficult pass. You don't need to make the Hail Mary passes, I like to call it, every 2 seconds. Reading the game, it's important. It's an important characteristic for an attacking midfielder. They're the brain of the team. Basically, everything runs through them. All attacks are kind of orchestrated by them as well.
Yeah.
And you can have the football IQ as well. And in that it's branches off to positioning. And a good attacking midfielder is always in the right place at the right time. And that's simply down to their football and IQ at the end of the day. Like, we're seeing Marcus Rashford run up into blind alleys a lot of the time, when you could call it nearly say 4 seconds ago, don't run up there, and he's running up there in particular. And it's really, really frustrating. But for an attacking midfielder, you won't see that happen that often, because they are the brain of the team, and they know they're just going to run up a blind alley. And then finally, it's like your ability to shoot. Good attacking midfielders usually are, top goals and assists in the club. We've seen that with Bruno over the last couple of seasons. He's been, in terms of goals and assists, the most complete from anyone else in the team. And they had to have exquisite short range shooting on top of medium to long range, because their position is mainly outside the box. Like, they're operating around the box. They need to make the quick passes, and long range and medium range shooting, particularly free kicks. A lot of attacking midfielders take the set pieces. So that's kind of one. That, for me, those would be the 5 kind of key traits that you'd be looking for in an attacking midfielder. I don't know about what you think. Do you think of any off the top of your head other than those 5?
No, I think you've absolutely nailed it. I think the one prime example I instantly think of, and I don't want to, I hate talking about it because it's Arsenal, but you see when Eriksen came into that team, and he became like the nucleus, and he was like the focal point, because you've got all these young talents like Saka, Martinelli, a couple of us, can't remember off the top of my head. You've got them all there, and you needed that little, that main man just in that number 10 spot there. What? Some things in your mind, your mind's wondering, is that what you're thinking of then?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. But yeah, he's the nucleus in that position, the number 10, where he links play with everyone, absolutely everyone. You've got your wingers, you've got your strikers, and you need to feed off these kind of players. So I think absolutely everything you said was spot on. And then you've given me a perfect kind of lead on to this next player who we're going to discuss now. As we've said before, Christian Eriksen. Adam, do you want to tell the viewers about the Great Dane, if you can?
The Great Dane, yeah. Christian Dineman Eriksen, literally a Daneman is his middle name, and he's Danish. He's 30 years old, as we know. He's a Danish footballer, and he was born on February 14th, 1992. And that's actually on Valentine's Day. So safe to say his father didn't get much action that night, but...
Did he cradle some balls?
Oh, God. But... one comment can destroy a show. It can put it off completely.
Some people will say destroy. Some people say improve. I go with the latter, to be honest.
But yeah, we had, of course, probably one of the most renowned Danish footballers born on that day. Then he started his career at Ajax at 18. His first senior career started there, and he won 3 Eredivisie titles and KNVP Cup. I think it's their equivalent of the FA Cup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. And in 2013, we all know he then signed for Spurs in a deal, £11 million. And for me, that's an absolute bargain at the time it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking back, he's got into, I think he won their player of the year twice he did. And he got into the Premier League team of the year once or twice as well.
Yeah.
And then he spent 7 years, of course, with Spurs, and he then signed for Antonio Conte's Inter Milan, and he won their first Serie A title since Jose Mourinho won the treble with them in 2010. So that was massive for them. Like the days of Juventus dominance ended around that time then, and we've seen kind of both Milan teams kind of go back up there. Kind of gives us a little bit of hope in a sense as well. Hopefully that we can break that dominance. And then, of course, like I have to mention what happened last year at the Euros on June 12th. He collapsed on the pitch. As we all know, he suffered a cardiac arrest, and he was given, I think they call it an ICD, and it's basically an implantable cardiovascular defibrillator.
To keep the rhythm going. Like that, yeah.
Yeah, and because of rules that were established by the Italian National Olympic Committee, Eriksen, he wasn't permitted to play in Italy anymore, and Inter Milan had to terminate his contract. And like he took a few months out of professional football, as we all know, and he ended up then going into training with a few different clubs, his boyhood club, and then he went to Ajax as well, where he trained under Ten Hag, and he really, really impressed Ten Hag in that spell. With his professionalism, he's like willingness to go back, train. He didn't want to, like, he could have retired there and then, like many players might, especially because, as we know, he was dead on the pitch that day. Like we've all seen the images. Yeah. And it was really, really hard to watch. But,
scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Scary, and much respect to his teammates for just covering the cameras. I still don't know why the cameramen were zooming in that day. Like,
do you know what? Just honestly, on that very quickly. When you get a streaker on the pitch, right, who's obviously run on naked, just running about, they're very quick to turn the cameras off straight away.
Oh, yeah.
You see it. They'll never, but as soon as he was collapsed on the pitch, it was like zooming in. And it's not as if like for anyone who was watching that game at the time knew that they weren't just like an injury. So the guy literally like hit the deck on his face and like collapsed. You can see it like clear as day. So the operators kind of knew what they was doing, but why are you zooming in on someone when they're having like a heart attack? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Honestly, the scenes then with these misses in the crowd, like people at home knew before she even knew, which isn't right. But anyway, like brighter news, he's come back anyway. And in January 20 of this year, actually, Brentford signed them on a 6-month deal. And he's actually really, really impressed a lot of people. Yes. And including those at Man United, Ten Hag as well, as we know. And
including myself, Adam. Including myself, I think he's done really well for him. Still looks top quality, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. 2-footed player, switching the play a lot. He'd be a fantastic option to have. That's all I'm going to say now. Yeah. But he's a free agent now, and a few clubs are kind of in for him. There was talks about Spurs. I think they're kind of laying off the interest now. Conte seems to be okay with his midfield right now. Brentford, of course, would like to extend his contract. If there's maybe a wee bit of loyalty there, then he might stay there. But I think I discussed it with Nick yesterday on a different video that we done, and it was saying how it will be his last chance maybe to play for one of the top clubs in Europe. Giant clubs, yeah. Absolutely. So he has to take it from me, and I do think it's going to happen. It feels like a transfer that's just going to happen. I think the next 2 weeks are going to be big, but that's all about Christian Eriksen so far. That's his career so far. His highs, his lows, and then you could nearly make a movie about it. Honestly, hopefully,
quite literally,
if he lifts a Premier League title with us.
Yeah, it would be amazing for him. I do think he's a top quality player. I watched him closely for Brentford whenever Brentford have been playing, and he like I said it before, we discussed it with Severe. Me, Sam, and Severe was just discussing it on the show, and I said at the time when I found out Brentford were signing him, I said he will be perfect for them because he'll go in that team because they haven't necessarily got like a really strong creative outlet. He'll go in that team and he'll provide for Tony, he'll provide for Bruno and these kind of players. They need someone like that. So him going in there, being shown the love by the Danish coach as well. They've got that link up between each other was really nice. I don't know what the situation is with family, because I've seen things like his family might want to stay in London, but if it's Brentford or United, you know, you'd think unless you're a really insane Brentford fan as a footballer, that's the only kind of opportunity you're going to get. And he's already been there for 6 months. Why not go work with Ten Hag? He knows him as a coach. Ten Hag he's obsessed with the idea of getting him and De Jong in there. So yeah, but this is why we're doing the head-to-head today. And obviously the guy on the flip side of the coin is a current player who we've already got. Bruno Miguel Borge Fernandes, I'm going to say. That's his full name. Was born on September the 8th, 1994. Born in Maya, Porto, and started his senior career at Italian Serie B side Navarro, but soon moved to Serie A side Udinese in 2013. In 2016, he moved to Sampdoria. After 5 years in Italy, he moved to Sporting in 2017 and was named club captain. He won back-to-back Taças de Ligas in 2018 and 19, and this led him to be named in the Premier League Team of the Year, Premier Liga Team of the Year and Premier League Player of the Year in both seasons. He scored a record 33 goals in all competitions, making him the highest scoring Portuguese midfielder in Europe in a single season, which is pretty impressive. As we all know, he eventually signed for Manchester United in January 2020 for what I would say is a bit of a steal, to be fair, £47 million. Decent price tag for the numbers he was putting up. It's probably worth, 70, 80 now? So you can say that's probably one of the transfers United have flipped in the past 10 years, to be honest. He has played through all the youth ranks of the Portuguese national side and eventually made his international debut in 2017, and Portugal eventually won the Euros and he was named in the team of the tournament. Another accolade you want to add to the belt. So, yeah, that is Bruno Fernandes. I'm sure, you know, as this is a United channel, a lot of you know the player very closely, but we always give a profile on the two players who are going to deliver stats alongside. So, yeah, that's Bruno Fernandes done. And, yeah, without further ado, Adam, let's get into some key stats and compare these two guys. We've taken their stats based on a total of 90 minutes and got their goals and assists. As we all know, Eriksen was signed in January, so it seems like a fair comparison to do it this way. What we'll do is we'll run through him. So we'll go through appearances, goals, and assists, Adam. So you've got Christian Eriksen's there. I've got Bruno Fernandes. Yeah. How many appearances has Christian Eriksen has? Okay, Adam, if you want to start us off with Christian Eriksen's stats, appearances, goals, and assists, of course, and then I will run through Bruno Fernandes' stats. Let's go. Let's do it.
So as we know, he signed in January. He made 11 appearances and 10 of those were starts. He has 1 goal and he has 4 assists so far this season.
Okay. 1 goal, 4 assists, did you say?
Yeah, 1 goal, 4 assists.
4 assists. I feel like it'd be more. I don't know why. 11 assists. 11 games, 4 assists and 1 goal, right?
Yeah.
So you've got 5 goal involvements in 11 games, but he's a bit more than just stats for me. Eriksen is more. If you watch him, he definitely passes the eye test for me.
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes is slightly different, but he's got 36 appearances, 35 starts, 10 goals and 6 assists, which if you compare it to last season is way off the mark, He started off okay. He was doing all right. He still got that record in Champions League, I think, didn't he? Got
he did,
6 or 7 assists.
Assist record.
Yeah, in the Champions League. So he started off well, and then halfway through, he just like the rest of the team, I suppose, just kind of went boom and just started playing shit every game. So I hope
you're only as good as your worst players, isn't that the same?
Oh, exactly. So yeah, he's surrounded by dog shit players. Let's be honest.
Pieces of wood.
Yeah, exactly. Then we've got the average of 90 minutes. So we've got touches per game. What is it for Christian Eriksen?
69.7.
Yeah, and then with Bruno, it's 71.3, which obviously being a centre attacking mid, you're gonna be involved in the game a lot. Like we were discussing before, you're the nucleus of the team. Everything runs through you. So no surprise in that. Very similar in them stats. Big chances created. Bruno Fernandes has 15.
For Christian Eriksen, he has 5. And this is a stat that's not per 90.
Yeah.
And so that's just in total so far. So as we know, 5 goal contributions he has 5 big chances created as well. Yeah. You just had to look at the people that are in front of him at the end of the day as well. It's Ivan Toney, and then it's Cristiano Ronaldo for Fernandes.
But not even if you look at it like that, if you was to do the stats in like a mathematical kind of sense, right? Bruno Fernandes has played triple the amount of games that Christian Eriksen has had, right? If you triple Christian Eriksen's games and just going off stats alone, he would have the same amount of big chances created. He'd have 15 because he's got 5. So if you look at it like that, they're putting out a similar, what's the word I'm looking for? They're basically putting out similar statistics, right?
Output, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So again, very close on that. We move on to key passes per game. So Bruno Fernandes, 2.5.
2.8 for Christian Eriksen.
2.8?
Yeah, 2.8 in the Brentford side too.
Okay, much cleaner. So he's much, like we were saying before with the decision making, sometimes Bruno Fernandes can be a little bit erratic, can't he? Whereas Eriksen seems cleaner in his decisions and stuff. So that's very interesting that he's got a higher rate than Bruno on that. Accurate pass per game. This, again, isn't surprising with Bruno Fernandes. 78% he's got. What's Eriksen got?
Eriksen is 81%.
80. So he's higher on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to see the narrative now. You're starting to see Bruno Fernandes is more... Look, I'm going to give a bit of a review after it, but he's more of a dangerous player. I'd say he's more of attack-minded. Gets his goals, gets his assists, but Eriksen's that clean. I can see why Ten Hag wants him basically alongside De Jong because he'll bring class to that midfield. Very good under pressure. Can nick play together like when Matt came in for that Brentford game, and he literally everyone likes playing with him, don't they? Similar thing with Christian Eriksen, I think. So higher on key passes, very interesting. Accurate per game, we just did, didn't we? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Possession lost 18.3. If Christian Eriksen's is higher than this, I'll be very surprised.
17.8.
Yeah, so it's less, but still similar. I know these, like you were saying before, there's a risk with you being a centre attacking midfielder, so you lose the ball slightly more. But I thought Eriksen's would have been lower than that, to be honest, because he is much cleaner.
Yeah, they're quite similar.
Yeah. It's strange because me and Sam, last week, I think we did Anthony versus Sancho, and they had almost identical stats, like very close in all aspects. So again, another interesting one. Successful dribbles, 0.7, 50% for Christian Eriksen.
Or do you mean for Bruno?
Bruno, sorry. My apologies.
But I mean, you're right too, because it's the exact same for Eriksen anyway. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Same. So he's got 0.7, 50%.
0.7, 50%, yeah, per game.
Jesus. It's like we've got 2 clones. Let's see if this is the same then. Possession 1, 0.7.
0.6 for Christian Eriksen.
Okay. Bruno's a bit more of a presser in it. I know he's a bit of a wild, I was going to say a wild chicken then. What would you call a wild
turkey?
Yeah, wild turkey. It could be a wild chicken if you want, but he is he does run a lot. He puts in like 12k, 13k per game. So that doesn't surprise me. Tackles per game, 1.5 for Bruno.
1.2 for Eriksen.
Yeah. Right now, you can start to see the story. Bruno's more aggressive, more erratic. Eriksen, much cleaner player.
He's more of a presser, Bruno is.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Christian Eriksen uses his mind a lot more. He's more of an intelligent player. He doesn't need to run around like a headless chicken or a headless turkey, whatever you want to call it. This one's interesting. And I know for a fact, without even looking at Eriksen's things, that is going to be much higher. And this shows discipline, of course. Yellow cards for Bruno Fernandes, 10. He's in double figures for yellow cards, which has got to be some form of a record for an attacking midfielder, surely.
It must be. Did he get a suspension for those? Surely he would have in the league this season. If you accumulate 10, you'd have to.
I can't remember. A specific moment. It was like,
Well, he missed 2 games, didn't he, this season? Because did he play 36, did you say?
So played 36, but started 35.
Okay. So, he must have missed a few games. I can't remember. He's rarely injured. Was he injured at any point last season? I can't think off the top of my head.
I don't think he's ever been injured since we signed him, to be honest. That's one thing about him, which we obviously haven't brought to the kind of the stats or anything, but he's very durable. Like he can play every single game and run a lot. Extremely fit for even for a footballer. Like he's got a lot in the tank. So that's another.
He's durable. He's reliable. You may as well call him Jorex.
Exactly. Love the analogy. So that's the roundup complete. I think on the head-to-head, very similar. We've got
Eriksen only had the 1 yellow compared to the 10 that Bruno had.
I forgot to. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That is, make your mind up, guys, what you think about that. Drop it in the comment section, your opinion on both players, what you think the likelihood of us signing Christen Eriksen as well. That'd be interesting to hear, because me and Adam are pretty positive on that. I think we both said about 90-odd%, didn't we? We think he'll sign. Do you think it'll be the first signing, Adam?
It's tough because just every day it's changing. 1 minute it's we had Timber, it looked like it was going to happen. Then it's Frankie de Jong is going to happen, Eriksen, and now there's word about Anthony as well happening. So what I'm hoping is that we're going to get to a point where it could be bam, 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 one after the other right away, that we're actually putting the groundwork in and working on all the deals. It'd be very unlike us, but I have a bit of hope. This should be the easiest one to get over the line. All you have to do is offer a contract.
Exactly.
That's it.
So
maybe there's that side that it will be the first.
Yeah. Let's hope Adam's right, because we need a transfer through the door. We need something to boost our morale. Definitely. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow us on all socials. Just type in Real Reds Talk. You'll be able to find us. Subscribe to the channel, please. We're trying to push to 200. To start to slow down a little bit now. So any kind of support, again, we would really appreciate. What show have we got tomorrow? We've got me and Adam streaming actually tomorrow on FIFA. Eric 10-bag career mode, so make sure you join us for that. And then Friday, we've got the transfer roundup, of course, and maybe a little something over the weekend. And pre-season's coming soon as well. So we'll be covering everything surrounding Manchester United, including breaking news if that, anything happens there. So check out our Instagram for that. Thank you for joining me, Adam. It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. And we will see you in the next one, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Peace and love.
Peace. Thank you.